back on. Put one cup back on. Oops, not drop the other one. Now once I have the striker cups back on, I'll just push on it and make sure the spring is working. Looks like we're in good shape. So I'll take the striker, put it back into the slide, run all the way forward. You'll notice that the white sleeve will actually push in on spring tension. So what I'll do is I'll set the striker back plate into its channel and I'll put a little bit of upward pressure on it. It doesn't take much. And then I'll push on the white striker liner until the back plate comes up and captures it. Pull the pin out, lock the back plate on. At this point, the slide is complete. I'll wait to put the barrel and guide rod back in so I can show proper lubrication of the barrel before we proceed. Into the frame, first thing we'll do is remove the back pin out of the sear housing block and then the trigger pivot pin out of the locking insert. I'll take my 1/8 inch roll pin punch and I'll punch the pin out. Set that pin aside. Once you get your pin punch pulled out of the frame, the easy way to remove the sear housing block is to take the side of the pin and go between the slide rail and the frame itself. Push it into that gap and it'll pop the sear housing block free. At that point, the sear housing block can be pulled straight up out of the frame while you pull the trigger back, and you can actually disengage and set that aside. We're not going to do anything to the sear housing block because the spring is relatively difficult to reinstall and nothing needs to be done with those components. To remove the trigger pivot pin, we're going to use the apex slave pin, and we're going to push on the frame from the right side to the left, keeping constant pressure on it. We'll move around the slide lock lever until it becomes free, and as you can see the pin popped right out. The trigger pivot pin has 2 notches on it, one very close to the center and one off to the edge. Those 2 notches need to be off to the left side of the frame when you reinstall the pin. That's why we remove it from the right to the left. They lock into the trigger return spring and to the slide lock lever. So we'll set this pin aside for now. We'll pull out the apex slave pin. Once that's out, the locking insert will pop right out, as well as the slide lock lever and the trigger bar. We'll set the frame aside.